His brow wrinkled as he studied the two pictures that were before him. After that, he hurried to locate their blood work on their medical files. It was nonsensical. As Brianna and her sister observed, the doctor's eyes continued to enlarge in shock. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. "What is going on here?" he whispered. He gazed at them with a sudden, almost fearful expression. There was a unique affinity between Brianna Dean and her twin sister Brittany. Although they were the closest twins they had ever met, they tended to keep their romantic interests to themselves until they were certain that things were serious. For the most part, everything worked out beautifully, but this time, Brianna wished she had spoken out sooner. The females were distinct individuals with distinct preferences, peculiarities, and mindsets. One such instance was that, although Brittany enjoyed flying, Brianna was afraid of it, which made going on trips difficult. When they were very small, Brittany recalled one especially terrifying hospital visit. All she knew was that while their parents were screaming at the physicians for not understanding what they were doing, the two of them were in excruciating pain and were having difficulty breathing. The twins' mistrust of medical experts was born after that, and it would be put to the test sooner than they anticipated. In Twinsburg, Ohio, at a twins festival, Brianna met her future husband. Josh Saulers was his name, and he had a twin named Jeremy. While Josh and Brianna were having a romantic moment, Brittany and Jeremy were chatting away. It was time to inform Brittany that she had finally met the one after they quickly fell in love. However, Brittany was not without her own secret. As she told her sister everything about Josh Saulers, Brianna saw the look of surprise and wonder change on her sister's face. When she returned the favor and revealed that she had been dating his twin brother, Jeremy, and that things had also become serious, her response didn't make much sense. The girls' dreams included moving into the same house as all four of them and having a white wedding. They would soon discover that this wouldn't be the fairy tale they had hoped for, though, as they had some work to do first. They needed to go see the physician. Their pulse raced as they saw the doctor enter, his expression slightly frowning. Was the news unfavorable? Being in their late 30s, Brianna and her sister made the decision to get a fertility checkup. They were taken aback by the doctor's remarks when they revealed to him that they were also dating identical twins, even though it was only a precaution. The doctor advised them not to create a family with their unconventional partners, even though they were fertile. However, Brianna and Brittany refused to listen. Soon later, Josh and his twin Jeremy simultaneously proposed to Brittany and Brianna. They also did everything jointly, in accordance with how the two sets of twins had spent their lives. After getting married, they jointly purchased a home. Even though everything appeared to be going well, Brianna's attention was always focused on the doctor's stern warning. When Brittany and her sister Brianna became engaged to another set of identical twins, it made headlines. After the story went viral, TLC proposed to cover the whole cost of the wedding in exchange for the right to record and broadcast the ceremony. The years building up to this particular day were very different from the amazing event that took place. As Brianna married her twin sister and closest friend, who were standing by her, she had butterflies in her stomach and started to cry. The amazing bliss persisted throughout the honeymoon. Naturally, it didn't take long for them to become pregnant. But the wonderful news was soon offset by an unpleasant fact. She wished she had remained to hear the doctor's advice as she clutched her swelling stomach in her hands. However, what was so crucial that he dissuaded them from becoming parents? When Brittany miscarried, she was 3 months along, and Brianna was 4 weeks behind her. She was afraid she might experience the same thing. After all, their bodies were identical. The wait was agonizing, but it turned out as expected. Brianna miscarried at the exact same time as her sister, following in her footsteps. Despite the heartbreaking setback, they remained unfazed. Less than 6 months went by before Brianna and Brittany were pregnant once more. Their pregnancy went more smoothly this time, and they saw their doctor more frequently. But here was another warning for them. They listened as the physician reiterated how unusual this circumstance truly was, and how little they actually understood the implications of such a medical abnormality. Opposite their group sat the doctor. Ladies, I believe I advised you to come see me before deciding to have children." Anger raised the hairs on the back of Brianna's neck. She shot back, "No, you told our mother that." With a shake of his head, he took out a folder. It was the medical history of both her and Brittany. He continued by using a variety of medical jargon terms like testing, health, prenatal preparation, and others. The doctor continued by explaining that there was a probability that she and her sister's unborn child may inherit the same genetic defects due to their prior genetic difficulties and the upcoming testing on their spouses. Put succinctly, their children may be just as unwell as the girls had been as infants. The doctor remarked, "It's obviously your body and your choice. I only wish you could have come so we could have done a better job of preparing. All we can do now is keep a close eye and exercise caution." The physician then examined their scans. What did he see? "Is everything in order?" Brianna inquired. The doctor's mind abruptly stopped racing. He sighed deeply, his eyes widening in shock. The twins were sitting next to the doctor, who took a chair and began to explain what the test results were starting to reveal. Brianna and Brittany are merely cousins, despite the fact that their respective infants are from two separate moms and dads. This implies that although if Brianna and Brittany's children have different parents, genetically speaking, they will always be complete biological siblings to each other as long as they stay with their husbands. This is like winning the lotto for an OB doctor. It's truly that uncommon, their physician said. Even yet, all they could do was take turns lying in bed. Brianna went into labor first, 8 months and 2 weeks later, and Brittany, in typical twin form, felt her water break a few hours later. Separation was, however, the toughest part. Taking hold of her husband's arm, she gave him one more shove. In the birthing room, there were sobs. She knew her sister was suffering somewhere. All the harsh recommendations and cautions had been disregarded by them. That was their decision, and their life. She was overjoyed to find that both infants were absolutely healthy, even though there was a considerable danger involved. They wouldn't have to endure the same suffering since they had won the DNA lottery. But when they cuddled their small babies, they both decided that before having any more, they would consult a doctor. Knowing that their children will have siblings made Brianna and Brittany and their spouses very happy, especially because the kids will be growing up in a home with 4 parents. When others learned of the twins' extraordinary tale, they were not as delighted as the twins. They agreed to be interviewed by reporters and journalists in a rush, but as the news and divergent viewpoints spread quickly, so did the controversy. After seeing how unusual the Dean sisters' wedding was, TLC decided to run the whole documentary, Our Twin-Sane Wedding, which chronicled the twins' nuptials. The theme of their wedding was Twice Upon a Time, and the clergymen who married the identical twin spouses were also twins. The quartet is now more well-known than ever, thanks to the recent announcement of the new members of the family. The very intimate marriage and lifestyle choices of Brianna and Brittany were seen negatively by some. The fact that adult couples lived together under one roof and intended to raise their children together also struck them as very peculiar and bizarre. However, it made sense to Brianna and Brittany for a variety of reasons. It just so happens that Jeremy and Josh, as well as Brianna and Brittany, work at the same legal company, making their commutes to work together convenient. The twins are inseparable, and neither pair could bear the thought of being separated from the other. Having to travel back and forth from each other's houses conserved gasoline as well. It's a rather unorthodox system, to be sure, but it appears to work for them. Nothing could be better in life for Brianna, her sister, and their spouses. They didn't let unfavorable comments get to them, even though there were always detractors lurking about to voice their disapproval of their lifestyle choices. Despite the fact that Brianna and Brittany are quite transparent about their decisions, the topic of whether they ever become confused comes up. People always question the ladies during interviews if the couples have ever been confused or kissed by the incorrect twin. Are they ever confused? However, the females quickly clarify the situation. This has never happened before. Brittany has even gone so far as to remark that it's strange that people even consider these things. It's not only that Brittany and Brianna want to support one another in raising their kids as a multi-parent family. In fact, they intend to become pregnant simultaneously, which will need a lot of preparation and some luck. If there is any more symmetry to be found, there is